In Act 4, Scene 2, we see some loyalties come to light. So Goneril, Oswald, and Albany appear. Edmund is there as well. Um, Remember, we kind of had said before that Albany went back and forth. He didn't really kind of declare where his loyalties were lying, and he's pretty meek for the most part. Um, Now, Goneril is upset because Albany basically says, I fear your disposition, Goneril, that nature which contemns its origin cannot be bordered certain in itself. She that herself will sliver and disbranch from her material sap, her force must wither and come to deadly use. Basically, I don't trust you very much. Who abuses her own father? It's so I don't trust someone who would go against their own parental figure. And for someone like Goneril, who was already so wicked and manipulative, she doesn't like this. So she is going to go against her husband and kind of go to the side and declare her angst against him, right? Well, in the midst of this, a messenger arrives and says, "Oh, my good lord, the Duke of Cornwall is dead, slain by his servant, going to put out the other eye of Gloucester." So, in the midst of the Duke of Cornwall removing both eyes from Gloucester, his servant has murdered him. Remember, he already was wounded from a servant, but he has been murdered. So the messenger comes in and Goneril says in an aside, and remember we said what an aside was where a character goes off stage so the audience can hear um, what your internal thought might be. She says, "Oh, one way I like this well, but being widow and my Gloucester with her mate, all the building and my fancy pluck upon my hateful life. Another way the news is not so tart, I'll read and answer." So she's basically saying, you know what, I'm kind of happy that Cornwall is dead, but, on the other hand, that kind of means that that means Edmund could possibly go with my sister because remember, Regan and Cornwall were married. Okay. In the midst of these happenings, Goneril kisses Edmund. So because her husband kind of dismisses her, she sends Edmund away because of Albany's changing loyalties, and she kisses Edmund as a favor. So let me kind of put this into perspective for you. Here, we get out a piece of paper, all right? We have Regan, Goneril, and now we have Edmund, who is the Earl of Gloucester. So think, these two ladies think, oh, he has power. So this is kind of like a love triangle, right? We have Regan, Goneril, Edmund. We have this love triangle, right? And because he's the Earl of Gloucester, they're thinking, oh, he holds power. So I want to get on that. So Goneril kisses Edmund, but now that Regan's husband has been murdered, this is the perfect opportunity for her to kind of swoop in there and go after Edmund. So I want you to kind of keep that in your mind there, okay? And now, once these sisters once had an alliance, well, they might not anymore.